Hello and welcome to the Jet Set. Looking for a way to keep fitness fun even while traveling? I'll tell you about a group that is doing just that on another Fit to Fly.
What's the coolest small town in America? I have the answer.
And could flying drones for fun be a thing of the past? All of this and more coming up. You're watching the Jet Set, so buckle up because we're about to take off.
Meeting a new friend always makes my trip complete.
Keeping up with the news about a destination helps me make the most of my trip.
Experiencing different cultures, exploring new places, and connecting with diverse people make me a better person.
It's time to get things started with Here's This. Two of the country's largest airlines seem to be playing a game of Red Rover. United Airlines told American Airlines to send their Chief Operating Officer Scott Kirby on over. Kirby, who had worked alongside Doug Parker since the 2005 America West US Airways merger, had widely been believed to have aspirations for the role of CEO. Kirby said, "I'm honored to be joining United at this important and exciting time and to have the opportunity to help accelerate the momentum the airline has achieved over the past year." American said in a statement that conversations regarding career expectations had played a role in Kirby's departure. Amtrak announces their plans to upgrade their Lifestyle Express train fleet. Amtrak currently operates the country's fastest rail service, which runs between New York and Washington, D.C. The new fleet of trains will be faster and quieter and offer better Wi-Fi on board. Amtrak is hoping the new, more modern interior and seats that will be equipped with power and USB ports will attract new customers to ride the rails. A United Airlines employee was arrested after allegedly stealing a case containing $130,000 worth of jewelry. A passenger traveling from Aspen to Denver reported the bag missing after it had fallen out of her luggage. The bag was found in Denver, loaded onto her flight, and then after arriving in Denver, the case was then brought to an area near the gate where customers collect their carry-on luggage. That's when Rafael Magana took the case, wrapped it in paper, and then took it home with him. The FAA has implemented new regulations that require all drone operators to take an FAA certification test and pass a TSA background check at a cost of $150 before taking flight. This certification simplifies the process to receive a commercial drone operation license, but does not allow leeway for hobbyist drone pilots who were previously not specifically bound by commercial regulations. The Drone Association is saying that the new regulations could create 100,000 new jobs. Our question is, do you think that hobbyist drone pilots should be subject to regulations on what most would consider just toys? Well, we wanted to know, so we asked, and here's what you had to say.
I guess it depends on what you're using it for. I guess regulations in some sense could be good.
For like in neighborhoods and like your hometown communities, I don't think there should be any regulation for it.
It's too easy to get a drone that does video to fly over, say, a military airbase or a military base's fences.
You know, I personally haven't flown a drone, but I want to talk about Amtrak upgrading for a second. You're on Amtrak like all the time.
I take Amtrak, the Acela train from New York to here to DC as all the time.
It's fun.
I love it. It's relaxing. You can have a nice glass of wine.
So,
It's
or two.
quiet.
Are these upgrades actually needed?
Well, for me, because I like the upgrades.
No, the upgrade of the trains will be nice, right?
You know what, I do, we've all been to Europe and we've been to, you know, we've used European railway systems, and I wish that we invested more in our own railway systems. It's a great way to get around. I just love it, so I think so.
Yeah, and they're still looking at putting that high-speed rail out west as well, connecting LA, San Francisco, and Vegas, which would be a completely different experience altogether.
Right.
Though I don't know if that's Amtrak. But you know what's also interesting is, you know, you and I used to take Amtrak often between Seattle and Portland.
Right.
And that's Amtrak, but not really Amtrak.
Well, it's Amtrak, and then they have their own regional, but it's still, you know,
It was called,
all linked.
what was it?
The Cascades.
Cascades. I couldn't think of the name.
But you know what? We need these upgrades to the trains until the Hyperloop arrives.
Yes.
And then that'll be really fast. Yes.
I haven't been on the train in a long time, though. The last time I did it was as a kid when we went on vacation from New York to here to DC, but we didn't take the Acela Express. We took the regional.
Yeah.
That took
That's
like
a
4.5
regular train.
hours.
Yeah.
And it stopped in every city along the coast, but it was still a beautiful ride. It was something,
I enjoy
something I'll
it.
never
I
forget.
really like it. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I'd say to anybody to try the train.
It's pretty much the same price as an airline ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not more or less expensive.
Yeah.
The business class and first class are just about comparable to a plane ticket.
Just about.
Yeah,
Yes.
just about.
Hang tight. We'll be back in 15 seconds with today's Fit to Fly.
You're searching a bunch of websites looking for the best hotel deal. Stop doing that to yourself. Let Trivago do it for you. Trivago compares prices from hundreds of websites and apps at the same time. It's that simple. Hotel? Trivago.
On today's Fit to Fly, we're talking free fitness, and a group called the November Project is providing just that. Their motto is, just show up, and if you do, you'll be in for a treat. With tribes and cities across the country, it's a great way for fellow travelers to get a great workout and meet friendly locals. I had the chance to partake in a workout in DC and talk to Steve and Kaylin, who run the DC Tribe. Take a look.
The basic idea is to get people out, moving, and building positive community, all for free.
The November Project is great for people who travel because we are in 29 different cities. So a lot of the times when people travel for like business, instead of checking into like your, 2-treadmill, windowless, dingy hotel gym, you could be working outside at a place like this.
Yeah, we told people if we got over 500 people at a workout, we'd get tattoos.
Steve has tattoos.
And it worked. I got that tattoo.
You guys, if this is any indication of what a great workout this was, it was amazing. And what's really fantastic about this is you guys know how much I travel, and I can do this workout in most cities that I'm in. Great people, great energy. This is one of the best workouts I've ever done.
Traveling alone can be a great experience. You get to separate yourself from others, and you get a chance to be completely selfish about what activities you want to do. But what are the best places to go when you're flying solo? We looked at locations based on the safety of the area, friendliness of the locals, and of course, the fun factor. And here are our top picks. Get your Lord of the Rings on in New Zealand. Not only home to the incredible scenery and stunning landscapes you've heard about, but the people there are some of the most welcoming and open-minded you'll find. Head to Norway and check out the Northern Lights. Accessible and safe, Norway has a unique charm that won't disappoint. And check out the Matterhorn in Zermatt, Switzerland. Walkable, picturesque, and safe. Taking a stroll through the streets of Zermatt is like being at a real-life postcard.
We have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we've got more on flying solo. That and more coming up right here on The Jet Set.
Welcome back to The Jet Set. We're continuing our new segment, Flying Solo, and we have lifestyle expert Anita Covic here with us, who has returned to talk about international online dating as an option for frequent travelers. Hi, Anita.
Hi.
I love this concept, mixing travel with finding love. That works for me, and it's becoming a trend.
Yes, indeed. I always say international online dating, it's here and it's here to stay. We use internet for everything nowadays, for entertainment, shopping, working. Why not online dating, especially with this increasingly fragmented lives nowadays?
Yeah.
That's why Anastasia Date and AsianDate.com are very successful international online dating sites that are mainly connecting members from United States with members from Europe and Asia. And I would say they've been doing really well for years now, enabling people to find their soulmate.
Well, there's survey results to back it up, right?
Yes, yes. According to the GfK survey, nearly half of the online daters have said that finding someone to settle with, to start a family with, is more important than succeeding in their careers. And then they listed companionship, friendship, and true love as the 3 main components when it comes to finding their partner.
Yeah, well, I can see that if you're doing all this traveling to just waste all that time when you can actually be using it to meet someone special,
yes,
you definitely should.
It definitely, sites like Anastasia Date and Asian Date provides people with more opportunity to find someone who will meet their preferences. And at the end of the day, even if it doesn't work out, you learned more about different culture, you got to travel and experience something new and meet different people.
Yeah. Well, I have a feeling that some of our viewers are going to start thinking about this because,
I would love to.
I know, travel and then the prospect of actually meeting someone special is important to people these days. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Today we're taking time to spotlight small towns that offer big-time travel fun. Galen took a trip to Lewisberg, West Virginia, which was named Coolest Small Town in America by Budget Travel magazine. We had to go check it out for ourselves. Take a look.
Smooth Ambler is a world-renowned distillery.
Pleasure. Free hug.
So glad to be here. Smooth Ambler
Happy to have you.
Spirits.
Yes. What would you like to know?
Well, I want to know how to taste some West Virginia whiskey.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, well, what should I try?
Well, usually when we go through a tasting here in the tasting room, we sort of try to tailor tastings to people's likes. So I usually start off by asking what people like to drink or what they're comfortable drinking, what they're used to drinking, and we sort of go
I like
from
some
there.
of those cocktails, like old-fashioned cocktails, with the citrus.
Yeah. With the bitters.
With the bitters and everything.
So a cocktail spirit.
Yeah.
We make local spirits from local grain, local water. A lot of care and love goes into the stuff that we make here and distill here, and obviously age here in beautiful Greenbrier County. And the other half, and very strong arm of our business, is the merchant bottling arm, where we go and have, we think, great palates, and we'll find these abandoned spirits, if you will, bring them to market and present them to our fans transparently as possible. If it meets our quality and our commitment to the brand, and we enjoy drinking them, we will bring them on and tell as much of that story as possible. And in a sense, we give it a second chance, and then we get to drink it, which is the great part.
Well, tell me a story and pour me a.
Sure. Let's see. I'd maybe start with. Let's start with contradiction.
A visit to Smooth Ambler's tasting room is the best way to experience and appreciate true Appalachian whiskey crafted the old-fashioned way.
And that you can make in some of the best cocktails I've ever had. It makes a mean old-fashioned. One of my favorite ways to drink that is to substitute it for rye in a Manhattan.
Right.
And because even though we have a low rye bourbon, it's still about 21% rye. So I really mix and match my bourbons and ryes in certain cocktails.
Well, have you always been into the spirits of West Virginia? I mean, you're from here, right?
I'm actually not from here. I am a transplant. Oh. I'm actually a Yankee, a former Yankee.
Where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York originally.
Okay, so what brings you from Brooklyn to West Virginia? You got here, but you stayed here, obviously.
Well, Galen, it's a funny story. I moved down for love and I stayed for whiskey.
Lewisberg has a way of turning visitors into locals, and this whiskey is sure winning me over.
We're about 4 hours from like 4 major metropolitan areas, whether it be Pittsburgh or DC or the Carolinas or Kentucky. So it's a very convenient weekend trip. You have distilleries, you have a brewery, you have a cidery, restaurants, shopping, antiques. I mean, it's kind of a very progressive, cool little spot.
Enough to keep the city girl occupied and you're staying put.
Yeah, I am. It suits me. I like putting my feet in the river and I like drinking good whiskey, so.
Well, let's keep trying them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Smooth Ambler Distillery has me all warmed up and ready for supper at Stardust Diner.
It used to be owned by Gwen Klingman. She was a very well known in the community. It used to be like so Gwen would come in and she would just have multiple things back there on the stove. And you would come up and you would be like, okay, I want the corn, I want the tomato dumplings, I want that. And then you would go back in the back and eat at big picnic tables. And because this was so famous, Gwen passed away. When they bought the place, they decided to kind of pay homage to Gwen. They still have her on the window. They still have that. It used to be Gwen's Cafe.
Oh,
and
okay,
that's also why they named it Stardust.
That's great. So, Christy, you're another Lewisberg transplant yourself.
I did. I came here about 17 years ago to work fitness, and I just fell in love with the place. At the time, I did a lot of triathlons, and I loved that I could take a bike ride, like right out my front door, like in some of the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen, and then I could run in the most beautiful forests I've ever seen. And then I met a local boy, and he's a farmer, so I'll probably be here for a little while longer.
Yeah.
We're taking a short break, but we have more from Lewisberg, West Virginia when we return. Don't go away.
Welcome back to the Jet Set. I took a trip to Lewisberg, West Virginia and found just how much travel punch a small town can pack. After a relaxing morning at the beautiful General Lewis Inn, I headed out to explore some of the things this small city has to offer. Night falls on Lewisberg, West Virginia, population 4,000. It's known as America's coolest small town, and every place I visit, I find another reason why.
Tell me about this cider.
That is a local cider. It's Hawk Knob. It's the only cidery in West Virginia. And actually, they've only been open for about a year. And we're going to go and visit them. And the cider is made from apples. And I think to liken it, a lot of people have it drink cider. I think of it a little bit as a wine-ish taste.
Yeah.
When I first heard of cider, I thought, oh, that's going to be like a beer, but no, it's actually more of a wine. So.
And very refreshing. Well, cheers.
It is. Yes, cheers.
My first taste of hard cider had me sleeping like a baby at the lovely General Lewis Inn. This historic hotel is in the center of Lewisburg, and the only thing that could make me leave the comfort of the General Lewis was an invitation to visit West Virginia's only cidery, Hawk Knob. I want to learn all about cider from the guys that created West Virginia's only cidery, right? And I'm using the right term. It's a cidery.
A cidery, we're also a meadery. We make mead, which is honey wine, but we are the first cidery in West Virginia. Well, we make a really local craft cider. All of our ingredients are 100% West Virginia grown, except for our elderberries, which we source elsewhere, but we're working on farming those ourselves soon as well. Right now, all of these ciders have a blend of at least 14 different heirloom and heritage variety apples that were traditionally used in cider making. We like very dry ciders. All of our ciders are dry. We don't add any sugar, sulfites, fining agents. It's an unfiltered cider. I'd say we're about as raw and pure of a product as you can find on the market. We're pretty proud of what we make.
And your apples come from West Virginia?
Yes, sir.
Let's start. I want to see how you open these, first of all.
Sure.
I heard that you have a special way of opening these.
Well, I'll start you on the classic. Okay. The classic's a lighter of one of our ciders. Yes. It's very green fruit oriented. Yeah. A lot of green apple flavors in this. This is the only one we make that is not bourbon barrel aged. So it's much lighter and crisp. It's great on a hot summer day.
And we've got that.
Yes, we do.
It's hot. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, good, good. I don't want to drink alone here. Cheers.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, it's very good. Very good, very refreshing. I'm trying to compare it to something because from the bottle you're expecting something that's going to resemble beer, but it's not.
But a lot of these commercial ciders are made to taste kind of like an apple juice, where that's not a traditional cider. Traditional cider was made to taste like hard cider. So you've converted those sugars into alcohol, and the flavor profile that's remaining there for you is coming from the nuances of these heritage variety apples that we're using.
So it is completely all natural. It doesn't just say it.
No, it is. Yeah. It's our ingredient list is apples.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Their hard cider will win you over at first sip.
This is Appalachia. Hard cider is part of our Appalachian heritage. It's part of the old culture here. I grew up making hard cider. Another Appalachian heritage is making elderberry wine. So we kind of took off on two traditions and combined them. We took a hard apple cider, aged it in a bourbon barrel for 6 months, and then we steeped elderberries in it. This is a lot more red fruit oriented, obviously, but you're going to get some nice leather and chocolate notes off the barrel, and also some bourbon.
All right, you guys, cheers.
Cheers.
You know, I love the fact that you gave me an idea of what I was some of the notes I was going to get. The chocolate did come out. This is delicious.
This pairs very well with chocolate.
Oh yeah, it definitely would be perfect. Really nice. You know, it's an acquired taste, but I've acquired it already while we've been standing here. It's really delicious. I love Lewisberg and want to come back, but do I have to come back to Lewisberg just to get your cider?
No, sir. We're right now we're distributed all around West Virginia. We're self-distributed, but we're doubling our production this fall, and we're looking to go into the DC market in the spring.
And from DC, who knows from there,
Who knows
right?
from there?
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, you guys. You really have something here.
Thank you very much. We do appreciate it.
Well, you guys, of course, I didn't come back empty-handed. I brought
I'm already in.
I brought this cider from Lewisberg. It's delicious, right?
Oh, wow, that is really
Yeah.
good. And it's
This
really
is so
cold.
good.
It's from Hawk Knob, and let me just tell you about the label. This label, they're very proud, and they should be. These are wood carvings that they actually took and rolled and then printed, and that's where these labels came from, this design. Isn't that nice?
It is nice, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
This is so refreshing.
Yeah.
It's really refreshing. All right, we'll be back right after the break with The Go, powered by Trivago.
Guests of the show stay at the Hilton Garden Inn Fairfax, situated close to the Dulles International Airport and moments from downtown Washington, D.C. Book your stay at fairfax.hgi.com.
Welcome back to the Jet Set. It's time for The Go, powered by Trivago.com. This week we're heading to the Northeast, to Portland, Maine. This charming town has become a destination for foodies with several James Beard award-winning restaurants and is one of the most picturesque towns to visit this fall. Go stay at the Press Hotel. This upscale newspaper-themed hotel is one of the best rated by Trivago.com users. Go see the Eartha Globe, located in the headquarters of mapping company Delorme. It's the largest rotating globe in the world. Eat at Duck Fat. This small sandwich shop has delicious food and killer beer and wine lists and was named one of the best restaurants in the Northeast by the James Beard Foundation in 2009. And see the leaves. Take a drive out into the beautiful Maine woods and see one of nature's most spectacular displays.
We're back next week with luxury travel. Don't miss it. Bye.
Bye.